Looking for Madden Ultimate Team coins? Buy NFL Coins has the cheapest and most reliable MUT22 coins. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 5% off your order. Do you want to win more games in Madden 22? Then make sure to watch this video. Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Duke, back here from sportsgamers.com. I have a very special Madden 22 tip video for you guys today, something that's been requested a lot. I'm going to show you guys the coaching adjustments that you need to be using to win more games in Madden 22, online, offline, head-to-head, whatever. Now, the best thing about this is these coaching adjustments I'm going to show you guys, you want to use them whether you play current or next gen. So for the guys that have been asking me for current gen videos, this works for current and next gen. So I'm going to be focusing on defense in this video because offense is very simple. Offense really, I don't do much, just to put it out there. The only thing I do here and there is I will put my ball carrier on conservative if I want to make sure I don't fumble, but other than that I don't do anything. Defense I do a lot more. I'm going to explain in this video why I do that. So let's just get started. Autoflip, I always recommend having that on most of the time unless you're running a blitz to where you just need to flip it every play. The reason why you want autoflip on is because most people that you're going to play are probably going to run some sort of 3-receiver formation. A lot of players will run with a bunch or trips, which means there's going to be 3 receivers on one side of the formation. So you need autoflip on to make sure that nickel back, slot corner, whoever, follows always to the strong side of the offensive formation. This is very important for many reasons. First of all, for run defense. If you get outnumbered on the strong side of the offensive formation, they're going to be able to run the ball much easier. Certain route combos, you might be running cover 3, for example. Cover 3 is on the wrong side of the field. You might give up a one-play touchdown right down the seam. I mean, pass coverage in general on the strong side just won't be as good. So there's many reasons why autoflip on is very important. Now, before we go further into the video, I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoy my content on YouTube, I do Madden 22 tips, gameplays, and news on a daily basis. Subscribe to the channel. Guys, drop us a like, comment on the video. If you really rock with me, do both. Smash that like button and comment. It really helps me out a lot. And if we could set a like goal for 300 likes on this video, that would be awesome. Also, if you're looking to get better at Madden 22, check out sportsgamers.com. That's where I post on my premium Madden 22 tips. I have weekly tips to go along with ebooks, offensive and defensive schemes, content for current and next gen to make any level Madden player better. Now, auto alignment. You guys can see we have default. Defenders will align according to default alignment rules. Base. Defenders will align according to their base formation position. And man. Defenders will align according to their man coverage assignments. Now, this you could go many different ways with. Personally, I like to use base more often than not because with base, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to disguise your coverage much easier. Because if you go default, certain coverages kind of give it away. For instance, it's very easy to tell single high safety versus 2 high safety. Obviously, single high, that can be cover 3. Man coverage in cover 2 and cover 4, they just slightly line up differently. So with base, everything is going to line up and look the same. So if you're going to do this, the best way to take advantage of it, I'm going to show you guys some examples, would be using multiple coverages, not just one. Like if you're just going to use one coverage, maybe 2, probably just better to use it default. But if you like to run one of those guys, multiple coverages, base is going to be better because it's going to disguise everything. Now, if you take a look at all these plays in your formation, you will kind of see where, if you look at the little X's and dots and whatnot on the play art, where your guys line up for each play. So that is a way you can kind of know where they're supposed to line up if you just go into your formation. Now, obviously, certain plays will have pre-snap movement. Like I said, single high safeties, all that. You know, a lot of defenses you run, you're going to want to come out of the huddle and baseline anyways. So a lot of times, that'll just save you an extra step, which is why I do like to use base more times than not for my auto alignment. Now, ball in air. This is actually very important. And it kind of depends upon the types of players you have and the coverages you like to run. Because if you play a lot of zone, I would probably just play ball. But if you play a lot of man, I actually like to do swap ball because basically if you're playing man coverage and you don't have the best defensive backs, you know, they're probably going to be trailing, right? Now, if they're trailing and you have play ball on, they'll try to go for the pick a lot. And that will oftentimes kind of wind up if you're getting terrible animations or no animation at all, and then this receiver getting a free catch. Whereas if you have SWAT on, they're going to have a much better chance of breaking that ball up. Now, if you're in zone, I would just play the ball because, in zone, you got your guys playing their zone. They're not playing the man, so they really shouldn't be trailing, in a trail technique like a lot of times they'll play in man coverage. So I would play ball for man, play ball for zone, swap ball for man. Now, if you just have the most ridiculous man corners ever, maybe you use abilities and all that stuff, and, your man coverage is immaculate, I guess you could play ball too, but most people probably don't have that. Now, cornerback matchups. This is something that you really only want to mess with if you're playing a lot of man. And if you're going to play a lot of man, you definitely want to go by speed. Because you don't want to have your slowest corner somehow by formation, package, sub, whatever the offense does on the fastest receiver. So if you go by speed, you'll have your fastest corner on the fastest receiver and so forth. Whereas you just leave it on balance, it's basically, not going to be under your control, basically. Now, if you play a lot of zone, mostly zone, I just leave it on balance. That's what I personally do. I play more zone personally than man, so most of the time I do leave it on balance. Now, option. This is a very basic one, guys. People who run the ball and use options, 9 times out of 10, the more, I would say, big plays come from keeping it with the quarterback. So, if you go ahead and put it on conservative, you're always going to take the quarterback away and make them just hand the ball off, which is a lot easier to defend. So, for anyone that does run options on offense, definitely want to go with conservative. So these tackling, okay. So the tackling, strip ball, and tackling, they kind of go hand in hand. Personally, I keep both of these on balance 9 times out of 10. There are certain situations where I will change them, and I'll explain in a second. But most of the time, it's balanced. So, for instance, if I'm going to change it to aggressive, it's basically because I'm losing and I need to force a turnover, and, that's almost the only shot I have is to maybe get a fumble through a hit stick or a strip. Now, this definitely has negatives too, because while you will have more opportunities for the big hits, the fumbles, strips, whatever, you'll definitely miss more tackles. It's just, it's very hit or miss. So, that's why I normally keep mine on balance. Now, sometimes I'll put it on conservative. And the reason why I'll do conservative is just sometimes, you guys have played this game, I'm sure you'll see that there's just games where, you can't tackle people. They just miss so many freaking tackles, and you just want to freaking blow your brains out because it's just, you can't even tackle anybody. So, instead of driving yourself crazy, what you can do is put it on conservative, and then you'll see your defenders will make a lot more tackles, and you will thank yourself because your sanity will be much better with your tackling and strip ball on conservative. If you're in a game where there's breaking tackles left and right, but like I said, I only do that when needed. Most of the time, I do stay on balance, and it works well for me. Now, these zone drops are probably the one I get asked about the most. What do you put your zone drops on? What do you put your zone drops on? Well, about to tell you guys. First of all, very important to note, if you play match coverage, you must leave these on default, because if you have some flats or whatever, match-based defense, and you change the zone drop, they're no longer will match. And you guys have watched a lot of my videos. I do like match coverage. I'm sure a lot of you guys too. So if you're playing match coverage, you need to leave these on default. Now, if you're not playing match coverage, we're in a whole nother story. So personally, what I do if I'm not playing match coverage, and this is just where I start, and I'll kind of tell you guys how I adjust it going forward. But basically, flats on 25, curl flats on 5, hooks on 5. Now, the reason behind this is simple. If I have a flat, this is like a hard flat, cloud flat, etc., at 25, most of the time, this will defend corners and crossers or whatnot from getting behind me. Whereas if I have my curl flats on 5, most of the time, this will defend the actual quick flats. And then my hooks on 5, that's going to kind of make them stay underneath more to defend the underneath routes so that my user can focus on defending the deeper routes, which is really what I want. Now, there are crossers and corners that even get behind 25, so you have to put it on 30. Sometimes there's corners and certain out routes that people run that get underneath 25, so maybe you have to put it on 15, 20, maybe even 10. Sometimes there's flat routes that 5 doesn't even defend, so you have to put it on 0. You know, sometimes there's hook zone, or I'm sorry, there's routes that they're running over the middle of the field that 5 doesn't guard well. Maybe you're playing a guy who just runs a whole bunch of deeper dig routes and he doesn't really attack underneath much. At that point, it would probably be smarter to put your hooks on like 10. So there's just a whole lot of variables with it. There's no really one size fits all. This is something that on this year's game, you're going to need to be adjusting based upon your opponent, but this is definitely where I like to start with, and I just go from there. Defense is not, like I said, especially coverage in Madden 22, defense is not a one-size-fit-all. In Madden 22, defense is not a one-size-fit-all. You got to adjust. The key is adjusting, so if you play someone that likes certain route combos, you just got to, gotta adjust. And I kind of just explained how you would adjust these based upon certain routes your opponent might use. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. These coaching adjustments will definitely help you guys win more games. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, and I will see y'all next time with another great Madden 22 video.